Okay, let's dive in. Imagine stepping onto this vast landscape, an ancient lava plateau,
Right.
and it's just exploded into color, millions of flowers. That's kind of the picture I got from the articles you shared about the Pocheon River Garden Festa in South Korea.
It sounds, yeah, truly spectacular. And these reports, they definitely suggest this isn't, just some small local fair.
Yeah.
We're talking a major spring festival, runs for what, 6 weeks, May 3rd to June 15th, 2025.
And the scale,
Yeah.
260,000 square meters.
Yeah.
Huge, right there in the Hantan River ecological scenic spot.
Exactly. A massive area.
So our goal today, using these articles you sent over, is really to explore this event,
Mm.
look at the amazing parts, the attractions, let's call that the light,
Yeah.
but also dig into the logistical headaches, the community impact,
Hmm.
the shadow side that these reports also touch on, stuff that comes with big success.
Yeah, it's a perfect case study, really. For you, the listener, it's a chance to see what goes into a huge public event like this, what makes it tick, what makes it popular.
And the hurdles, the real world problems that pop up, and crucially, how the organizers are trying to fix them.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's start painting that picture. What is this Pocheon River Garden Festa, fundamentally?
Well, the reports describe it mostly as a large-scale ecological spring festival. Location's key, the Hantan River Ecological Scenic Spot in Pocheon.
And that timing, May to mid-June, that's got to be peak bloom season, right?
Oh, absolutely. Captures spring perfectly.
That scale, though, 260,000 square meters on a lava plateau, that's a pretty unique setting.
It really is. And the reports, they definitely hype up its growing reputation. It's becoming like the ecological festival for the whole Seoul metro area.
And the visitor numbers back that up.
Yeah, they do. Last year, 300,000 people. That's a lot of foot traffic. Puts it firmly on the map.
Okay, so with that kind of pull, what are the main attractions? What's bringing all these people in? Let's talk about the light, the highlights from the articles.
Right. Well, number one, no question, it's the flowers. Just vast fields of them.
Like what kind?
The reports mention tulips, roses.
Mm-hmm.
They even have a specific European rose garden bit, cosmos, lupinus, chrysanthemums, allium. It's a whole mix.
Wow.
One source actually put a number on it. 500,000 spring flowers. Just imagine.
500,000 flowers on lava rock. That's quite an image. But it's not just flowers, is it? The articles talk about other big things, like that suspension bridge.
Oh, yeah, the Y-shaped one. 410 meters long.
Oh.
And apparently it's the longest Y-shaped bridge in Korea. So that's a major draw in itself. Adds a bit of adventure, those unique views.
Definitely. And they mention other stuff, too, like a pet playground.
Caters to families with pets, which is smart. A growing demographic,
Yeah.
for sure.
And beyond the big structures and the flowers, what about activities?
Yeah, quite a range. Experience programs didn't specify exactly what, but sounds hands-on. An electric bicycle thing, a flea market,
Okay.
and of course, the festival essentials. Food stalls everywhere, and a market for local farmers to sell their produce directly, trying to offer a bit of everything.
So it sounds like they really designed it for a broad audience. Families, couples, friends, locals, and tourists, both.
That's the impression, yeah. The reports quote officials saying it's meant for all ages, designed to create happy memories, encompassing, flowers, nature, experiences, pets, the whole package.
And the general vibe from the officials quoted is positive. They see it as a success.
Overwhelmingly so. In terms of drawing crowds and getting established, they seem quite pleased with its growth.
Okay, so vibrant success, tons of visitors, stunning scenery, lots to do. That's the bright side. But as these reports also point out, success like that often brings, well, problems. This is where the shadow comes in, right?
Exactly. Despite the huge numbers and the positive buzz, the reports are pretty frank about the on-site challenges. What's the main one that jumps out?
Traffic. Seems like that's the big one. Just sheer congestion on the roads nearby because of all the cars trying to get there.
Right. A classic symptom of a popular event.
And it's not just inconvenient for visitors. The reports quote officials, Lim Jong-hoon and the mayor, Baek Young-hoon. They specifically mention how much this disrupts daily life for the local residents.
Ah, that's a crucial point, the impact on the host community.
Yeah. And parking is a specific nightmare, it sounds like, especially weekends, holidays, big bottleneck.
Makes sense.
Plus, there was a direct quote calling public transport accessibility disappointing. So basically, just getting to the festival is a major hurdle they need to solve.
Okay, so access is tough. What about once you're inside? Any operational issues mentioned?
Yeah, something interesting about the booths. The reports observed that the places selling, say, local farm goods, They were pretty quiet compared to the food stalls, which were mobbed.
Hmm. That suggests the economic boost might not be spreading evenly to all the vendors. Any idea why?
The speculation in the reports was maybe it's about visitor flow or the layout. Like maybe people just weren't naturally walking past those agricultural booths as much.
Interesting. Could be layout. Could be what people are prioritizing when they visit.
Could be. So, okay, we've got this picture. Huge success, beautiful event, but also real problems of traffic, parking, resident frustration, and maybe some unevenness inside the festival itself. How are they tackling this? What do the reports say about solutions?
Well, this is where that phrase comes up, chunk. Uh, On-site feedback or voices from the ground. It seems the officials are really listening to what people are saying, visitors and residents.
That's good.
Yeah, and specific ideas are coming out of that. Lim Jong-hoon, the council member, he apparently called for, better road maintenance, more detailed traffic control.
And he doubled down on that point about balancing visitor needs with residents' daily lives, right?
Exactly. Crucial point. And for the booth issue, he suggested maybe integrating the food in the sales booths more closely.
Oh, interesting, to sort of guide people naturally between them.
Yeah, spread the buzz, the vitality across all the different types of vendors.
Makes sense. And the city itself, under Mayor Baek Young-hoon, what are their plans?
They seem to be taking it seriously. The reports detail commitments to improve things on-site, better facilities, better traffic management.
Practical stuff.
Yeah, like expanding public parking lots, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And actually building new urban planning roads to improve access generally.
Okay, infrastructure investment.
Right. Plus, improving signs and guidance systems, adding more toilets and rest areas along the river. Pretty basic but essential stuff.
And shuttles. Did they mention shuttles?
Yep, operating shuttle buses is another concrete step mentioned. Try to reduce the number of cars hitting directly there.
And they're thinking longer term, too, right? Something about overnight stays.
Yeah, developing night stay type content, which suggests they want people to stick around longer, maybe ease the peak daytime crush, and obviously boost the local economy more.
So it sounds like they're using the festival as a sort of springboard to build up the whole area's tourism appeal.
That's exactly the impression. The reports talk about linking it with other events,
Yeah.
a drone festival, a geopark forum, a pet festival,
Yeah.
to create like a bigger, complex cultural tourism hub.
Right. Aiming for that bigger Pocheon, bigger happiness vision they mentioned. Using the festival to drive broader economic and tourism goals.
Definitely. And the reports emphasize that they're committed to listening to citizen feedback and making changes quickly. That responsiveness seems key.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. What's the big takeaway from this Pocheon Festa example when it comes to running these huge public events?
Well, I think it clearly shows you can create something incredibly successful, something that draws huge crowds by leveraging natural beauty and cool attractions. That's the light, the achievement.
But that very success instantly puts a spotlight on your limitations, doesn't it? Infrastructure, logistics.
Precisely. Traffic jams, parking chaos, unhappy neighbors.
Right.
These are almost textbook challenges when you suddenly pour hundreds of thousands of people into a place not necessarily built for it.
It's that classic tension, isn't it? How do you scale up access and services as fast as your attendance numbers are climbing?
Yeah. And what Pocheon shows is that acknowledging these problems, actively working on them, and using that on-the-ground feedback, that's just as vital as the marketing that got people there in the first place. It has to be ongoing.
It really shifts the focus, like you said, from how do we get people here to, okay, they're here, now what? How do we manage this so it works for everyone?
Absolutely. And the steps they're taking, more parking, shuttles, rethinking layout, considering residents, these are concrete attempts to find that balance. It's not easy.
So here's something for you, the listener, to chew on. When big events like this Pocheon Festival get really popular, the challenge isn't just attracting crowds anymore, it's managing that success gracefully. How can organizers make sure these massive events genuinely benefit everyone involved? The tourists having a blast, sure, but also the vendors trying to make a living and the local folks who live there all year round. What does finding that sustainable sweet spot actually look like in the real world? It's a question that goes way beyond just this one beautiful festival in Korea.